Hi, my name is Truladi, and you're welcome to my video. In this video, I'm going to walk you through data science with Python. So this is an introduction video for folks who are just getting started with Python in data science applications, right? And in this video, I'm going to be using one of my previous notebooks from I think last year, as you can see here. Right now it's 2023, but I'm going to be using my previous notebook, and in the sense that I want to walk you through very briefly on some key concepts that you should be aware of when starting a career in data science using Python. In this short video, so I'm going to make it a series of short videos. We're going to explore some key concepts like what is data extraction. We'll look at Python data types, Python basically is a programming language. I'm going to walk you through it. All right, and and basically this notebook is already written already, so I'm just going to walk you through, just give you a form of understanding and clarity. All right, let's go. So basically, if you're just starting your career in data science, like me, I always advise folks to start with SQL, SQL, using either Postgres or MySQL, for example. It's always a good start because you find out that there are similar commands in SQL, when you start moving with Python, you find that there are similarities to it. All right, so let's move on. So one of the very key things you need to know is when starting with Python. So basically, I'm sure this is not a Python foundational course because I want to assume that you may have come across the use of Python before, one way or another. So I'm just going to walk you through some key concepts and some key tips. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the libraries. Now, one of the very first things you're going to be looking at is you're going to focus on the libraries. What are the libraries I'm going to be using for data science? And there are numerous libraries out there. First of all, we have pandas, we have NumPy, we have Matplotlib, we have Seaborn, we have Raceplot, we have SkyPy, we have Scrapy, we have Beautiful Soup, and they have several use cases. For example, when you're working on data frame, on data analysis, EDA, that's the exploratory data analysis, you're going to need to use pandas. When you're doing anything that involves computation, calculations, you're going to need NumPy. It's the same as SkyPy. SkyPy is a bit of high level. Then when you want to plot some kind of library, some kind of dashboards or plots, charts, you're going to need tools like Matplotlib, Seaborn, RacePlus. I mean, there are lots. There are lots of them out there, right? So, but one vital tool that you need or library you need are pandas. All right, now for those of you who are asking, what is the meaning of a library? So a library is like, for example, let me use a scenario where you have a car. And for that car, the car has a chassis. It has, I mean, the car has different components, right, that makes up the vehicle, the vehicle itself, maybe like a Chevrolet. All right, now, your pandas is a very critical component in Python that we use for data science. Is what makes is it's a tool we use in investigating our data, in working with our data, you know, and all of that. All right. So we also have other libraries for machine learning. For example, we have the TensorFlow, we have Keras, we have PyTorch, we have scikit-learn. And one very funny thing, one very great thing is that these libraries get to be updated yearly, like regularly. They get updated. Most of them are basically open source. It's open source tools that you can contribute as well to, as you go along. All right. So let's move on. I'm going to move shortly to this. All right. So now the very first thing you should know is when working with Python, is that Python has data types. Now, I'm sure some of you must have come across other form of tools for data science. For example, you have Yarks, you have, I know people use Rocks now, Rust. Uh, you have outside Python. So there are numerous tools out there that you can use. But however, each of these programming languages have familiar data types. They have their unique data types. For example, in Python, we have inbuilt data types like the text, which is a string, str, which is denoted as str. You have numeric type, which is integers, float, complex. You have a sequence, which is a list. tuple and range, you have the mapping type, which is your dictionary, you have the set, you have the Boolean, you have the Boolean basically means the true or false. Is the statement true? Is it false? If it's false, do this. If it's true, do this. That kind of logic. Then we also have the binary types. We have the bytes, we have the byte array, we have the memory view. All right, so I hope that I've been able to introduce you to what we call the Python data types. It was just basically a rough introduction into Python data types. So I'm gonna walk you through how to use how you can basically play around the Python data type rather in my next video. Thank you.